Welcome to the lesson on updating your checkbook. I'm currently in JobMaster Pro's AR Center, and I'm going to click the Checkbook button to access the Checkbook Manager. Now remember, you can access the Checkbook Manager also in the General Ledger by selecting Go To on the menu bar, Checkbook Manager. As I come in here, you can see all of the accounts that are set up. And before we go further, we might want to think about passwording our Checkbook Manager. So why don't I click on File on the menu bar here and select Set Password. This allows you to have a separate password just for your checkbook, and only people in the company that have it will have access to your checkbook. Now keep in mind that whatever password you type in here, it is case sensitive. You want to remember that. All caps, all lowercase, a combination, doesn't matter. You have to remember how you typed them in, big letters, small letters, etc. As I press enter, I'll press enter on the save button and the password is set. So the next time I go in here, it will ask me for the password. Now, we previously set up this checkbook, so I'm going to click once on it and click on the detail screen so you can see the manual entries I did when I set up the checkbook. But now we can start updating the checkbook. Now that it's set up, we can start updating it with activity from AR, AP, and payroll. But we want to do that on a date range that's after the date range of activity that we entered for with the beginning balances. In other words, if a check that was manually entered was already run through, say, accounts payable, we don't want to double up on that check coming through from accounts payable through the update process. So you want to keep in mind date sensitivity here when you're first starting out with your checkbook. Although if it accidentally happens, you can always delete any duplicated accounting activity. So let me exit out of the detail screen, and on the Checkbook Manager screen I'm going to select the update icon, which is the check mark. When I come into here, I have complete control over the date range of activity that updates my checkbook. Okay, so if I want to do just 1 day or 1 week's worth or 1 month's worth, this will come through depending on the date range. And then I can also select to just have any part of the program updating the checkbook. So if I want to handle my accounts receivable deposits separately, I can do that, or I can let Cobra do it, either way. But let me run this through and show you what it looks like when we're done. So I exit out of the update part of the manager, and I'll go back into the detail screen, and now you can see all the activity that updated the checkbook, check numbers, and even the source of the activity. Apparently I didn't have any AR activity for this date range, otherwise I'd see AR as a source. Same with payroll. But the nice thing about this is that when you double click on an entry, be it a check or a deposit, you will get a list of everything that makes up that amount, that check or that deposit amount, for reference back to the AR or to the AP. So that's really cool. You can always do that and get this information right at your fingertips. But what's also happened here is that the account balance has also been updated. And you can see that it was reduced from the last time when we first came into the program. So this account balance is always up to date, but we haven't cleared anything yet, so the bank balance remained at the $9,000 that we set the account up with. So it's very easy to update the checkbook. You can also limit your view of activity by selecting the date range of activity that you want to look at here. So if you do that, you just press enter on the e-date, and then it will reload your list based on the date range that you select. So if you have months and months worth of data in here, but you want to just hone in on a single month, that's a great way to do it. You can also resort your list by all these different sort options that are available in this drop down at the upper right here. So that's kind of cool. If you're trying to hone in on a particular transaction, you can get to it really quickly by using all these great little sort options here available to you in this drop down. But regardless of the limitation of the data on the screen, these account totals will always be up to date for the entire checkbook. Okay, so not just for that date range. There are other views that show you just that particular date range. So that ends the lesson on updating the checkbook.